Hi guys, how you doing? Things okay? Welcome to Hair Talks. This is where we go live with you and we ask you, or you ask me the questions and I give you the best answers that I know. So, in the chat, load me up. Come on, prime me up. Let's see what we got. I'm going to show you my granddad. Love my granddad. It's my granddad here. This is one of the kindest, most nicest gentlemen in my life I've ever had in my life. I remember him for the rest. His legacy, he worked in a coal mine. And then he was a puppeteer, a children's entertainer. What a cool granddad to have. So, I'm going to light up your chat. Okay, so Kimberly. Here we go, Kimberly. You ready for this? So how would you... So we've got Kimberly Holloway. Okay. How would you do that short haircut for an older client who doesn't want a fringe? Exactly the same way. I promise you now, that technique that I've just showed you can be styled in 196 different ways. I just made that number up. But... simply, it's a rounded shape on top. Now, all you've got to do is blow dry it backwards, okay? So an older client, that haircut that I showed you, you should be doing on your older clients. But you just style it in a different way. So a little bit more length on top so you can get enough into a round brush. And the way I kind of measure that is that if I can get it into that diameter, so the diameter of the brush depends on the diameter of the length and how much curve and bend you want to it. So if you go too short, it's just going to stick up, obviously, and you've got to get real tight round brush in there. So get the tight round brush in there, and you just blow dry that shape back. And it's exactly the same shape. So shorter to longer, and then there. It's done. And just the lengths change. That's all. Yeah. Hope that answers your question. Next question. So we've got Elaine Wyatt here. Elaine. Hi, Elaine. How you doing? So, Elaine, when you are a fully fledged hairdresser and have got your qualification, etc., what timings should you be aiming for a cut and blow dry? Okay, so this, like the adventure of a hairdresser's timings, is all down to the individual boss that wants you to cut hair one way or another. Now, over the decades, I used to be a 30-minute hairdresser, and then I was a 45-minute hairdresser. Now I'm an hour hairdresser. Now I'm an hour 10, hour 20. Sometimes, it just kind of like runs off with me. My next client's waiting. I'm like, But I tend to kind of spend about an hour with every single guest. Now, long hair, you spend less time cutting long hair, and then you spend more time blow drying. But it still takes an hour. And you will take that time. But how long is your consultation? So one of my girls, Emma Holmes, I can see her, she engages with her guests, that she has all the time at the beginning of the appointment that she could ever want to or need to take. She's in no rush to get him over to the sink to get him in that chair. She knows her timings. So what it is, it's an hour's service. It's an hour to win them and to give them. You go to any other appointment and you finish that appointment 15 minutes shorter, they're going to feel a little bit robbed. But in a haircut, we're paying for the haircut. But actually, if you think about it, they're paying for the hour that they spend with you. So I like to spend an hour, but I charge a lot more for that. Do you know what I mean? I put my price up to consider that I take an hour. So that's like, it could be a 10-minute consultation. It could be a 15-minute shampoo. But then we're still working on a half an hour appointment. The haircut will never change. It's the service that changes. How much service do you want to put in? How much precision do you want to put in? And then what you're going to find is you're going to attract more precise haircuts and more people that want your service like that. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, definitely you need to time it out. So 45 development, 45 haircut is the norm. We do it by hours. So we work a 9-hour day and then we do an hour, one client, hour, next client, hour, next client. And it simplifies things for us. We could earn a lot more money, but sometimes it's not about the money. It's about the journey. It's the service. Forget about the money and do something for your guests. Go that extra mile for them. Yeah? And then you've got a chance to upsell treatments to them if you know it's a quick haircut. And some haircuts are going to take you a bit longer. So, it is throw it out there. Right, next question. Hey, Jasmine. Jasmine Freya. Hi, how are you? Oh, do you know what? I'm quite sensitive. And I love my granddad. How do you deal with the first year death anniversary? My granddad died May 27th last year. I'm struggling to cope. Luckily enough to deal with grief until I was 19, but now it's overwhelming me. I need a private conversation with you, if that's okay, because I can't speak about that public. I can speak about my own experience, and the when you're overwhelmed, it's those memories that you're drawing on. But I bet you, if I asked you for 3 memories that made you smile about your granddad, and your granddad is up there now not wanting to look down at you suffering because he passed away on this day, and that you remember this day. My father killed himself on Christmas Day. My grandfather died just after Christmas, and my brother died just before Christmas. And I had a choice, and I let that eat me. Every single year that ate me. Darkness was coming, sad was coming, the anniversaries were coming. But let me tell you, there is something that's different about me today. And that's the sadness. I put a good memory amongst the sadness, and I celebrate, and I force myself to smile, and I break the chain. You have to subconsciously enjoy it and celebrate it. Do something nice for him. Okay, so every year you do something nice. And do you know what? It's okay to cry. And remember them, because you have to cry. You have to release. So cry, but then smile for him as well, because he doesn't want you just to smile, just to cry, does he? He wouldn't want you to cry. He wants you to smile. And he's looking up there going, Jasmine, come on, baby. I love ya. You know? He's got you. And I believe, whether you believe in a spiritual world, a God world, or anything like that, I believe they are there still with us. And they look down upon us, because I look at that sky every day and I go, Dad, are you proud of me? Granddad, are you proud of me? I need you right now. And then they will come. Their presence will be in you. But they don't, when they were alive, did they want you to be sad? No. So choose to be happy. Find 3 good memories about him now. Right now, right now, right now. What made you smile? Come on, hear him now. Look at him. He's there with you. All right? And then when you go and put a flower outside, or you plant something today and you remember him, it'll go feel a bit better. And that's how you deal with it. You have a choice. All right? Got me welling up now, mate. Ellie Morris. I recognize that name, Ellie. I recognize that name. I love that name. Ellie Morris. Okay. Hit me with your question, Ellie. Where are you? How do you put clients at ease and show confidence, especially when they know you are new? For example, trying to keep the conversation informative but not confuse them. Well, you've answered your own question. You have just answered your own question. And what you do is you start with your 5-star service, and you stick to service. You don't stick to making stuff up. You stick to your service. So your service is all about engage with them. You shake their hands. Not in this new world, you can't though. So we've got to find a different way. But it's confirming that you're excited, you're passionate, you've got energy behind this. You only know what you know, so you stick to what you know. And you develop the conversation, but you don't open the conversation with, so what are we going to do with your hair today then? Or what are we going to do with you today? It's more about engage with the person. You've got to win the person to win their trust. And you're not going to win that just by throwing in. Straight away, you're going to go, so what are we going to do with your hair then? They can see that, the anxiety in you. So you kind of take a deep breath. You got this. You make sure that one of your companions over the other room has got this with you if you need any questions. You make sure that someone else is going to shampoo for you as well. In these first times, having an assistant with you, well, that depends whether you had a good relationship with your assistants and they've got your back. And then that gives you that little bit of time to run over, talk through the haircut with them. So in the consultation, you'll engage with them, you talk about it, you make a plan, you spend a little bit more time with them, and then you feedback the haircut to them. Then they know you're listening. You've got confidence then. As long as you've fed it back, there's nothing worse than going, did they listen to what I just said? I don't know what I'm going to end up with. You've already started the train. And a client's journey through a salon is very, very, very different to being in a salon as a stylist. So they walk through the door, they know you new, they know you charge less. So are their expectations high or low? Some people don't have as much money, but they have higher expectations. Now, if you ever, and I promise you this, if you ever get stuck, ask for help or refuse the appointment. Because there's nothing worse than building up a whole bank of memories where you've messed someone's hair up because you weren't that confident. But also on the second one is give everything your heart and go. Don't fail. Just get in there, give it a go. Okay, so you're going to build up on your bank of memories of haircuts. Stick to a haircut that you love and you like. And then just a few alterations for them. Try and steer your client into something that you're good at. You know, you wouldn't get an artist out there who paints in color, and all of a sudden they say, oh, I would like a black and white picture. He's going to say, well, I don't do black and white. Do you know what I mean? I don't do black and white. I put color in my work, and maybe you need a different artist. But, you know, power of consultation is owning it and then repeating the information back to them. And then getting someone else to shampoo, go over to the more senior stylist, get them to walk through the haircut. But if you've understood the terminology, so the directions and patterns, and you can work that out and the map in your head, you will have sheer confidence going over. But what you don't want to be doing is going quiet. So what you don't do is go quiet, because quiet, they're going to think, oh, she's a bit struggling over here, isn't she? She's gone really quiet. I can see the beads of sweat coming down her head. What it is that you get into a pattern to talk professionally. So you get your professionalism, and that'll be talking them through the haircut, what you're doing, why you're sectioning it, and why you're doing that, and then find your zone. I mean, we're going to go through a path of this, and then eventually the light bulb moments just keep on clicking in. And guess what? And then the client rebooks. When that client rebooks, you know you've nailed it. And you may judge yourself. Be self-critical, because the only person that's ever going to make you the best person you can is you. Take ownership for your own shit. All right? Next question. Okay, next question, guys. Go for it. Who have we got a question by? Lisa Matt Maiden. Have I been to Ireland? Yeah, I've been to Ireland quite a few times. I teach over in Ireland. Yep, I teach in Ireland. Sharon Malcolm, I've been over to Sharon Malcolm's a few times, and a few other places over there. I do like Ireland. I've taught there a lot. I've taught in 36, 37 different countries. I was the head of education for Italy for a long time. Best people to teach, most energy you'll ever have, humble. That's where I'm going to die. I will end my days in Italy. I want to grow an old man in Italy. I want to write my books. Yeah, I know. Yeah, but that's where I want to go, Italy. So, I know Dan just went, that's not Ireland. It's Italy. I'm like, I know, but that's where I want to go. Ireland's lovely. Scotland, you know, I've been everywhere. I'll come to your salons in the future and I'll teach your whole team for you. How about that? You have me in your salon for a day. Cool, then you will be buzzing. Yeah. Next questions. What are the best scissors for a newbie to the industry? Okay, that's easy. Ones that you don't mind dropping, because you are going to drop them. It happens. You'll get a right feel for that. Now, Akito do a great consultation on scissors. You know, they will give you the right scissors. You don't want to spend too much money. You don't want to spend the least money. But Akito brand, every scissor is good. So what I tend to find is that I don't start with like a big thing like this, you know, like massive scissors. I like my scissors smaller, more intricate, nice in the hand, and you'll get a feel for them. Your first pair of scissors, I remember giving my first pair of scissors away, and I'd had them for like 10 years, but they have to be sharp. You can't work with a blunt blade or a squeaky blade, and you have to take care of them. So do invest in a good pair of scissors. And if you drop them, they can be repaired. Keto do a repair service. Most brands do. So, just, go for something offset as well, so your wrist isn't too twisted. And go for something that fits in your hand nicely as well. Nothing too small, nothing too big, but a smaller scissor. And always have a backup pair if you're ever going to go send yours away to get sharpened. And guys, always go back to the brand that you bought your scissor from to get them sharpened. Then they're guaranteed. Don't let the guy into your salon who's got a filing blade. They'll mess up your scissors for life. They're done. Next question. Neil Williams. I found that working on your styling and finishing can help your confidence on the cut you've done. When you've styled it amazingly, you'll see how you can work, or that work can look. Yeah, it is on the finish, guys. We're gonna end on that, guys. We're not gonna end on that. Okay, Dan's saying I want one more question. But yeah, the way you finish hair, guys. So sometimes if you do not such a good haircut, but if you style it amazing, she's gonna love it, because that's what she's gonna look like at the end, and she's gonna love it. But then if you think about what's next, okay, so if you do an amazing haircut and you don't finish it nicely, doesn't matter how good that haircut was, it's wasted. Good tip, Neil. Love that one, mate. So Joanne Bolden, how are you? Joanne, amazing. Love the fact you are so humble. Do you ever doubt any work you do? Yeah. Absolutely. Do I sometimes come away from a bad day or a bad haircut, beat myself up? Yes. Still to this day. I give myself a hard time, like a real hard time. Like, why didn't you do that good enough? Why didn't you think about that more? And do you know what? Usually, 9 times out of 10, it's not because I was in a good mood. It's because I had something else rattling around in my inner chatter. But I'm working on that, and I'll continuously work on it. I've gone on this mission to be the best creative person I can be, and enjoy my work, and love every single haircut that goes out of my salon, that I can take a picture of it and it's perfect every single time. That I was proud to take a video of that and put it on my social media, because every haircut should be perfect. But there are days, like any man's work, any writer doesn't have his good day. Any painter will tear up his picture. We can't tear a client's hair off. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, we do. But you always strive to be better than you was yesterday. We want to develop you and develop your skills. But if you're not doing anything to do that, nothing will change. To have something change in your life, you've really, really got to change something. You've got to do something. You've got to take action. So, if you want to continuously doing crap hair and not being happy with it, that's because you didn't change. You didn't learn a new skill. You didn't come on my courage and cutting course. We just had another person book on. So I have 3 slots left. That's 4 days. It's spread over 2 weeks. That's coming up. You get in there. Once it's gone, it's gone. Cool. So, on that note, guys, I laughed like a nutter today. What did you do to change your state of mind? You'll probably looked at me and kind of went, oh, you're a little bit nuts, you're a little bit mad. But in madness, there is sanity. And I believe that. Something good will come out of all of this. I love you all. I'm going to see you soon. Tune in next Tuesday. Share, like, watch it again for me. Until next Monday, we're there. I'm going to throw up some new videos. You can watch this live tomorrow. I'll see you later. Take care.